What up, Bulls Nation? We've got live CHGO Bulls pregame coming up right now. Bulls back in action tonight. A rematch against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who they lost to in late December in a game that saw both Coby White and Josh Giddey exit with injuries. Coby White's been back for a while, and tonight, Josh Giddey makes his much-anticipated return, playing the very same opponent. We will break down this matchup tonight next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls pregame. Coming to you live from our CHGO Xfinity Loft here in downtown Chicago. CHGO Bulls pregame is presented by Michelob Ultra and Bet365. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. So cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra and download the Bet365 app with code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment is never ordinary at Bet365. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Peck, Bulls _ Peck, Big Dave, bam, bam, BAWL Sports, Will the Go Gottlieb, Will _ Gottlieb, and rocking with us on the controls tonight, the one and only Sean Anderson. What up, Sean?
Sean Don.
Thanks for being here, Bulls Nation. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already, and hanging out with us on YouTube. Shout out to Daniel. Happy Thursday to you as well. Shout out to Shawnee, who said, "Let's go, Bulls." Hi, my guys from Australia. Hello to you.
Welcome back, Giddey Committee.
PT Soren, I can has Giddey. What's up, PT Soren? You sure can, because he is back in action tonight, and it was perhaps in an abnormal way or an abnormal feeling for Bulls fans, gentlemen. Exactly according to plan as Billy Donovan described it over the last several weeks. Yeah. This is when we're going to reevaluate. This is when we're going to brace yourselves, ramp up. This is when, with barring any setbacks, we're going to do this and get a Windy City run in, and then we can do some practice. And okay, maybe he'll play Tuesday, but probably Thursday, if not Tuesday. He didn't play Tuesday. Here we are Thursday. Boom, he's playing.
He's back.
What?
He's in effect.
I don't know what to do with my hands. A Bulls player injury timeline that actually went according to plan? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That makes all the sense in the world. But yeah, he's back. Excited to see him get out there, get reacclimated with the guys, kind of see what it looks like, see what kind of holes he can plug for the team, and just making sure he keeps everything going as it's been going. Like I said, Giddey's not a selfish guy, so he's not going to be thinking about, I need to get my numbers and things like that. He's definitely a win first for the team kind of person. So he talks that talk, and he definitely walks that kind of walk.
And they need him. I mean, Trey Jones, Coby has been kind of in and out of the lineup, but he's starting to hit his stride. Trey has been phenomenal. Io has been phenomenal. But Giddey is kind of the engine around which all this is built. So it'll be good to have him back. And just the way that he's able to keep them playing to their style. They're always going to have two of these guards now on the court together. Right. There's never going to be any slippage, which is something that Billy and some of the players talk a lot about, of like when the bench comes in, it's not only that they like hold the lead, they throttle it up and they try to take advantage of that. So that's who the Bulls are. That's how they've designed their team, and it's how they want to play. And it really is catered really around all of Giddey's strengths and weaknesses. So, but mostly I think with the hamstring and with the soft tissue injuries, those things are always really finicky. We saw with Coby, it took him basically 3 months. You mentioned, Matt, being on track and like having the timeline. Actually, a lot of that is because there weren't any setbacks. There were with Coby. There have been with guys in the past. Lonzo obviously comes to mind, but that was not the case with Giddey. And so it's good to just see him get back on the court. Right. No setbacks, no long lingering things. Right. And hopefully we don't see any of that. Billy talks a lot about how asymptomatic guys can be with these soft tissue injuries, and then all of a sudden tightness, boom, you're out for 2 more weeks. And so we hope that doesn't happen, but it's just good to see Giddey get back out there on the right time frame, because they've now got a handful of games here before the deadline, and they've got to see what they look like when they're as close to whole as possible.
They're going to need them, man, because these games are going to get tough, and see if he can get reacclimated and not think about the hamstring and just go.
Yeah. Shout out to Connor in the chat who said, "What's up, guys? Been a minute. Giddy up." Welcome back, Connor.
Welcome back.
BT Robinson asking, is Giddey on a minutes limit coming off of the bench? TBD, Bulls, I think, as of my checking a couple minutes ago, hadn't dropped their official starting 5 yet. But yes, on the minutes restriction. Casey Johnson tweeted from Billy's pregame media availability that it's a roughly 24-minute restriction for Giddey tonight. We'll also kind of just have to wait and see whether or not Billy sticks to that, because Kobe White has been on minutes restrictions as he's been dealing with the calf, and there's been some bending of the rules when it comes to that minutes restriction. It's not a rule; it's a suggestion.
Right.
It's it's like they're more like guidelines.
Like it's a door, but it's a screen door.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's there.
Yeah, and as a result of that, I would be expecting him to come off the bench tonight. I think that Billy will try to shorten the game for him, and that he won't start the game, and he'll probably be around 24 to 28 minutes. It's just my guess. I don't know what Casey said, so that could already be out there. But I would imagine that that's kind of how it goes, because they want to make sure that he's able to play the end of the game, not necessarily the start of the game.
Right.
Shout out to Anthony in the chat who said, waiting for the OMG moment that P. Will is also back tonight. We are all excited. That is also accurate. Confirmed by Casey on Twitter via Billy Donovan. Patrick Williams, who's been dealing with a sprained ankle for the last week or so, has missed a couple of games. He is available for the Bulls tonight as well.
All right.
So there's that.
It's a thing. He's back out there. You know, it's good to just have a full – hey, Julia. It's good to have just a full roster of your guys out there and all those options available to Billy Donovan.
Sure. Will not have the option of Zach Collins. He is still out with that big toe sprain, big toe injury of some kind.
I'm seeing a lot of great toe. They're calling him great toe now.
Great toe?
On a lot of injury reports, you're seeing Darius Garland, great toe, out for whatever. And I'm like, huh.
What's wrong with big toe?
Like not big, but great.
Interesting.
You could be big. You could be great. You could be ultra.
Yeah.
Zach Collins, big toe, brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
That's right.
That's just strange.
I don't know anything about it.
What's wrong with the phrase big toe? Everybody, if you say, I stubbed my big toe, everybody knows which toe you're talking about.
I stubbed my great toe. We don't know what you're talking about.
Isn't that funny? I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, man. Who decided to go with that? Sean, do some in-depth work for us.
Yeah, I'm going to need to know.
We're going to need to know
who started that.
Who
nonsense.
decided great toe is okay and a thing? Because I don't think so.
And there is your confirmation. Bulls starting 5 just dropped. Kobe, Okoro, Modest, Jalen, and Vooch again tonight. So that means that Josh Giddey will indeed come off the bench.
And I just saw, I don't know if you mentioned this already, but I hadn't seen it. But he is on a 24-minute limit.
Yeah.
So
25.
Touched on that. Meanwhile, for
32.
Minnesota, Julius Randle popped up on the injury report today with foot soreness and was listed as questionable earlier today, but he has been given the green light. He will play tonight. Terrence Shannon Jr. remains out for Minnesota, and that's the long and short of the T-Wolves injury report.
The toe thing seems to be like a gym shoe thing. I know gym shoes are very colloquially Chicago words, and nobody else, they call them like sneakers.
Sure.
Right? So I guess that's just, most people call it big toe. When you search online for great toe or big toe, it comes up big toe.
Yeah.
There's like a few people that say great toe. So that's, you're just reading a weirdo's work.
People. That's actually a poll question we can put up too for the people. Do you call it a big toe or a great toe?
It will be there.
I'd love to hear this because you great toe people I need to hear from, honestly.
Oblivion in the chat asking, is it turf toe? That's nasty. I had it myself. I don't think we've gotten any official confirmation, but didn't you say that Billy was talking about it recently, Goat, when you're talking about Collins and his toe injury, that like, I'm not going to say this turf toe because we don't know that for sure, but it sounds like it might be or something along those lines?
Paraphrasing, yes.
Yeah.
He basically, I don't think he had gotten a specific diagnosis, but from what it had been described to him as, it sounded very much like turf toe. So turf toe, I was just pulling it up, is a sprain of the ligaments and joint capsule at the base of the big toe or great toe, as we're now calling it.
No, as you're calling it. Not doing this.
Nonsense.
Not doing this.
Which can be extremely painful and which can take a long time to recover from depending on the severity. So that's what he's dealing with. Last we checked, which was probably a week ago, he was still in the boot. I think that's the case, but he's already been ruled out through All-Star break.
I was going to say, in that same chat with Billy about Zach Collins, he said don't expect to see him on the floor until after the All-Star break. It's going to be a while yet for Zach Collins. Meanwhile, Casey Johnson with another tweet with a bit more intel on the plan for Giddey tonight. Giddey coming off the bench with the double big lineup intact. Donovan said that Giddey will play roughly 4 6-minute segments tonight, and off the bench is better for that plan.
Okay.
So we'll see. That is the plan for tonight. We'll see how concretely and aggressively Billy sticks to that plan.
Yeah,
But,
So I would guess like end of the first, like last 6 minutes?
Right,
Last
yeah.
6 minutes of each quarter is what I
Right.
would guess.
Yeah. Unless the game gets close.
unless the game gets
then all
close.
bets are off, man.
And look, when the Bulls faced this Minnesota team back on December 29th, the game was close for the first half.
Sure.
Minnesota started going on a run and turning their engines on midway through the second quarter, and the score flipped. And Minnesota had the lead by halftime. Kobe left early. He played 6 minutes in that game before the calf had Kobe checking out. And then Josh Giddey played 18 minutes. I think he was out there for the start of the third quarter.
Yeah, it was the first play of the third quarter.
Yeah, there you go, as I recall. So he ended up playing 18 minutes, all essentially first half minutes, save one. And then he left with the hamstring that now has caused him to miss each game since that December 29th game against Minnesota and this one tonight. But in the second half of that game, sans Kobe and sans Giddey, it got a little out of control.
Yeah.
A little bit.
136 to 101 was the final score.
A little bit. I mean, talk about the tale of two halves. I mean, obviously the injury had something to do with that,
Yeah.
for sure. But my God, like they, for real, went truly, truly insane on the Chicago Bulls. Honestly, you could say led by Anthony Edwards, but for me, it was led by Naz Reid.
Yeah.
Like he just
33 off the bench
went nuts
that game for Naz Reid.
Yeah, they score well. This is one of the top scoring teams in the NBA. Like they're the top 3 scoring team in the NBA, bro. Like so, yeah, they're serious.
And Ant, he was just kind of going through the motions in that game.
Correct.
Certainly through the first 1.5 quarters of that game. Then he started to cook a little bit, but he finished with a modest 23 points. It was, Naz Reid and a bunch of other role players from Minnesota that got it done that night. Minnesota's starting 5 tonight: DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, who I mentioned was on the injury report but will play, and Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
Gobert. Vooch did what he could in that game for the Bulls. He was their leading scorer with 23 points, efficient 10 of 17. I would assume with a solid game off the bench, 10 points, 6 boards, 7 dimes, taking over some more playmaking once Kobe and Josh both left the game.
Yeah.
But that was just the Bulls defense could not do anything against a Minnesota team that just was hitting shots and hitting shots.
Yeah, like I said, these are 2 high-scoring teams. The difference is Minnesota's defense is really solid as well. You can look at the point differential as far as what the Bulls give up and what Minnesota gives up. I believe Bulls give up at least 120, but they're going to score like 122.
Yeah.
That's the point. But Minnesota's going to score that, but they're going to give up like 108, 110. So that's the difference of it right now, guys, is one team scores and defends you. The other team has to outscore you, period. We'll see what works tonight because in that first one, it was definitely the defense and their offense working. We'll see if the Bulls can, do something about that defense on this tonight.
Minnesota shot nearly 54% from the field. They hit 15 threes at a 40% clip. Meanwhile, the Bulls shot just 41% from the field in that game. Shot attempts were pretty even, despite the fact that the Bulls had 17 turnovers to Minnesota's 5. And so that's another thing to keep an eye on tonight. We were talking about it on our plus and minus yesterday show that the Bulls in this last 10 games or so have done a really good job of taking their limiting turnovers offense from good to elite. They've been the best team in the league over the last 10 games and not turning the ball over.
Wow.
So can they correct that, big gap against Minnesota the last time these teams played and keep the game closer by protecting the basketball?
Yeah, it's important, and it's what makes the Bulls tick as far as their defense is concerned. And I'm going to say defense is concerned because that's part of the defense is not turning the ball over for them is part of their defense, man. And having Trey Jones out there has been a big help for them. Ayo has not been turning the ball over a lot this season. They haven't asked Kobe to do those kind of things as far as the ball handling is concerned. But again, this is a really good Minnesota team. Like we saw it already. Now, truth be told, the Bulls beat them twice last year. And I was wondering, I said on the last time they played, I was like, I wonder if Minnesota remembers that. And they played that second half like they remembered that. Yeah. For sure. So we're going to see what it looks like in this one. And I want to correct myself because I definitely misspoke when I said the points that they were giving up was 108. That's OKC, who is at the top with that. Yeah. Minnesota is 12th as far as defensive points, per game points they're giving up. I believe they're 115 as far as what they're giving up. But they're still a top 3 scoring team in the NBA with that. And just for reference, the Bulls were 26th in that as far as points and what they're giving up. So, yeah, man, it could be tough. You could be good. It could be tough or it could be close. We'll find out which one it is.
Speaking of, you could be good. Let's knock out a quick ad break here pregame. Come back with more thoughts on tonight's matchup and take a look at what Minnesota's been doing in between since the last time they faced them in late December. Hit that like button while you listen to these words from our friends and sponsors. The like button's free. BRB.
Hit it.
CHGO Bulls is brought to you by Bet365. And right now with their early payout offer, you are a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download the Bet365 app. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Because when you do that and place your first $5 bet on anything, maybe some playoff football coming up this weekend.
Maybe
on the Bulls. Maybe on the Hawks. Whatever you're feeling. $5 bet. Win or lose the $5 bet. Don't matter because either way, you're getting $200 in bonus bets directed right into your account. And you could use those bonus bet dollars on just about everything. Spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. So what are you waiting for? Download that Bet365 app. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Guess what? Let me tell you a secret. Lean in. You can be good.
Oh, sure.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
You can be good. But you can be great.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's even better.
Sean Anderson, he's great.
He's great.
You can be great. But if you want to be Jay Zawoski,
Ooh.
you want to be ultra. Well, first of all, I've already called you ultra before, so now I'm just passing it on to Jay Zawoski, sir. So, and I called you great on top of that.
Sharing the ultra love.
I'm sharing the ultra love, sir.
But I want to be ultra.
Well, then you can be ultra, but can Jay Zawoski be ultra? Yes, he can. Chloe's you've been ultra. You've absolutely been ultra. Chloe's been ultra too.
This ad's getting political.
Ultra. See, all this non-love for my man Jay Zawoski because I said he's ultra and I told a fact. He's ultra. And you want to be that, you need Michelob Ultra, y'all. Because whether it's can or whether it's bottle, once it hits those lips, in 2026, it's full throttle. Superior game meets superior taste. Superior game, taste. Meet my man Sean. All right? He said he's ultra, and it's true. So no matter what you're playing for, you make it superior, and you do it with Michelob Ultra. Be ultra magnetic.
CHGO Bulls pregame rolling along on Thursday night ahead of Bulls Wolves Part 2 this season. Mentioning the Bulls blowout loss the last time these teams faced, with Kobe and Josh both leaving with injury. Tonight, Josh's first game back since leaving in that game. Minnesota, meanwhile, been kind of an up and down road for them since. They are still, however, 27-17 on the year, 10 games above 500, which is good enough to get you 7th in the West right now, which is crazy. I think they're actually in a record tie with, Phoenix is also 27-17. Shout out to them with a tiebreaker in 6.
Shout out to Phoenix, bro.
But Minnesota are coming into tonight's game on a 3-game skid. Taking a couple tough L's to some of those teams out West. They lost to the Rockets, Spurs, and Jazz, rewinding. But I believe it was the Spurs game. They lost despite 55 from Ant. So they're trying to get off this little 3-game skid.
That dude good.
They are at home where they are 15-6 on the year. And Ant is still doing Ant things.
Stuff,
you got his season numbers, Sean, that you want to throw up there. These are actually slightly improved from when we took a look at Ant's season numbers back in late December.
Wow.
Just shy of averaging 30 a game.
Look at that.
With 5 boards, 3.7 assists. Shooting splits at 50, 41, and 79. And the career highs on points per game, field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage.
Wow.
He is cooking.
He is cooking. He is special and just so much fun to watch. Like, as they say, worth the price of admission.
Yes.
Like, to sit there and watch that young man play basketball, bro, it's just so much fun. Like, he wants to win so bad every single time. He comes down and he takes these threes. And I'm like, sometimes you watch him, you're like, bro, why did you take that? Oh, okay. Hey, man, why he keep, oh, all right. Oh, yeah, he's going to talk to you about it too. And it's like he's setting up the time for when he's going to start going inside and start, because he still got that athleticism. He still can go up and yam on you all day long. So he's just a special kind of basketball player to watch. And one of the reasons why you enjoy watching the NBA is Anthony Edwards, man, seeing him play for this team. So I'm looking forward to watching him, and I don't envy the Bulls, man, because that is an incredibly tough task to try to hold that young man down.
He is a spectacle. Just an incredible explosive scorer, one of those guys that just comes around once a generation and is just,
for sure.
I mean, he's really special. But I think the challenge for them is not over-relying on him to do everything. And that's why I think they've been in the market for another guard on the trade block. So we'll see how that goes. But for me, it's like, how do they maintain their identity as a defensive team? You look at their most recent stretch of games, they are giving up 118.6 points per 100 possessions. That's 22nd in the league. On the season, they're the 7th ranked defense. Like, they need to be an elite defensive team in addition to what you're able to get from Jaden McDaniels, who's taking a step forward, Julius Randle, who's having another really great year, Dante DiVincenzo, and obviously Ant. You need to be an elite defensive identity, and they just haven't been that over this last stretch. All the games that they've lost have been pretty close, and then you look at the ones that they've won big before that. That's made some of the numbers under the hood look okay. In this stretch, when they're 3-4, they're still plus 3.4 point differential, but it's just about locking in defensively, where they've just had a hard time these last couple of games for whatever reason.
He does have Julius Randle to help him out tonight. 22.5 points per game score in his own right.
Pretty good.
And to me, that's the curious thing. Like, do you think that Okoro is going to take the Ant assignment out of the gate, Goat, because he's still in that starting lineup? And then is it on Modest to try and check Julius Randle at some points in this game? Because we've seen Modest deal or struggle, I should say, to deal with certain size when he's had to play up. But here again tonight, Billy, because he's bringing Giddey off the bench, and that's going to make a lot of things about Billy's rotation tonight interesting and the ripple effects of that. But what I'm sure is, especially with this Minnesota team that just has size on size on size, Jalen Smith being in that starting lineup.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, is that they're starting the two big lineup as a result of who they're playing. You have to throw size them. You cannot let them crush you on the offensive glass. And to the Bulls' credit, they've been a lot better defensive rebounding of late. Obviously, there's going to be games where they get you. The Rockets game stands out, where you're facing literally the best offensive rebounding team of all time.
Yeah.
And you actually outperform them in that category. So they have improved there. I think the two big lineup has been a big piece of it. I think it's better for Modest to not have to have that responsibility of, obviously Vooch is a good rebounder. Giddey is a fantastic rebounder at the guard spot, but that's not something that I would say is a real strength of Modest's. So to have Jalen Smith in there too just puts less pressure on him and allows him to be a little bit more free flowing on the perimeter and kind of develop those skills. So I think it's a good look for them. As far as the matchups go, I would imagine it's Jalen Smith on Randle to start and Okoro on Anthony Edwards. I think there's going to be a lot of cross-matching, though, because my guess is that they're not going to want to have Anthony Edwards on Kobe, so they'll probably try to leave him on Okoro, but then when Giddey comes in, you probably want to throw Jaden McDaniels on him to give him some length and just try to disrupt what he does. So I think there will be a lot of that interplay with this game.
Okay.
Also, of course, always have to watch out for DiVincenzo. He hit 4 threes. I think he was 4 of 9 in the Wolves win over the Bulls back in December. And 4 of 9 is like, okay, we let that shooter have himself a decent night. But I think that's all he had. He had 12 points on 4 of 9 from downtown. I think he missed 1 shot inside the arc. But he's one of those shooters in the league who do not let him get hot.
Yeah.
Because DiVincenzo could easily hit 8 threes, just as likely as he'll hit 4 on you.
Yeah, it's true, man. He can definitely get hot and get going for this team. And they're going to need him to, honestly, man. Somebody has to counter that Bulls bench because the Bulls bench has been the one carrying them within these games, man. So, and putting Josh Giddey, honestly, on that bench just bolsters that. So, yeah, he's going to have to kind of counteract what the Bulls are going to put out off of that bench.
And it's not like they're doing a lot of line changing where it's like 5 subs on, but off the bench now you've got Io, Trey, and Giddey. So that'll be another interesting thing to watch out for.
You just mentioned Io. What a wonderful transition to our pregame picks for tonight. Because I'm rocking with some Io tonight. Pregame picks presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app with code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment is never ordinary at Bet365. And leading us off tonight.
Pregame picks.
Wait, Sean, did you take over some of this?
Naz Reid! Naz Reid!
I just
I love it.
This is the only guy in the NBA that I stan. If I was going to make a Giddey committee, it would be about Naz Reid.
Okay. You should.
I shouldn't. I have a wife. She'd hate me. I'll go Reid, 15-plus points. Reid 7+ rebounds. And then also, why not a sprinkle on 30+ points? He just dropped 33.
He did.
16-1. I mean,
did
why
look
not?
at that tonight when I was going through. I was like, yeah, he had a 33-point game plus 1,600 for him to do it again.
You never know.
I don't hate that. But look, Dave, you were talking on yesterday's show about how great Ayo has been recently. 70% true shooting percentage over the last 10 games. He's shooting 46% from downtown on the year.
Insane.
And even when he is playing in that bench role, he has been scoring a lot recently.
Yeah.
What did you say? He had 15+ in the last 10, save one game?
It's that one game, yeah.
So
7 points
how
against,
about 15
Houston.
or more again tonight for Modest at plus money? I love that.
Why not?
Jalen Smith still in that starting lineup tonight. He's been knocking down his threes recently. 2 or more threes for Jalen Smith, plus 125. And then he's been mentioned, but not at great length. Jaden McDaniels. He kind of had a dud game in that blowout win over the Bulls back in December, but he has been cooking recently for Minnesota. Between those two factors, I like plus 20+ points for Jaden McDaniels to have a night tonight at plus 195 value. So a little bit of everything there, and shout out for the extra free Naz Reid bets.
Oh, we all about that.
I won't love it if those
Naz
come to
Reid! Naz Reid! And I'll be the happiest person on the planet.
Speaking of that, sir, because you told me that you can play this now. So he wanted to take people back down memory lane.
I love memory lane.
For 1 second. And remember my mental breakdown.
One of the great days in CHGO history.
I'm glad that's how y'all remember it. I was not well after this game. And the beauty of doing what we do here is I am able to come on here and vent. And this is one of the games where I kind of went full Peck. Listen to me.
Oh, okay.
150 points. 150 points. 22 threes. What the? 150 points.
Wait, how many points did the Bulls give up?
150 points. In a regulation NBA game.
Even Dave's ad reads sound angry today. Can't blame him.
Thank you.
150 freaking points. 150 puntos. I'm out of here. I'm done talking about this team for today.
Good.
We are off tomorrow.
Goodbye.
We will be back Tuesday and Wednesday for the Bulls back. Things are tough right now. Deep breaths. We'll come back and try again on Tuesday. See Red, be good.
Naz Reid! Naz Reid!
December 18th, 2022.
Yeah, man.
And it's exactly the same.
To 126.
Yeah.
The Bulls got in that game.
It's 2026.
The Bulls got 29 from DeMar that night.
Yes.
They got 23 from Vooch and 22 from Zach. They lost handedly by giving up 150.
Insanity.
How many?
150 points. There's nothing I am stopped more and talked about about anything I've done here on CHGO. We've been here for years. It's been that when people want to talk to me about something, is they'll walk up and say 150 points. Or they'll say Naz Reid. Naz Reid!
23 of 43 from downtown.
Dude.
Wasn't Minnesota. But hey, you know what? The Bulls beat that just the other night.
Yeah. And also that was the chair flip, because I flipped the chair before it was. So that's why I was like that. Yeah. I sat over here for like the first 5 minutes of the show. I didn't even come on the show for the first 5 minutes. And then I walked in, and that's what you saw.
You want to know something crazy? The Bulls have given up 150 points twice already this year. Woo! Once wasn't a win.
Yeah.
They scored 152 against Hawks.
I understand what they are now, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
understand
stuff.
it now.
All right, we are past 7 o'clock here in Chicago. That means it's game time, y'all. We will be right back here for postgame afterwards. Enjoy the game. We'll see what happens. We'll talk to you a little bit. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't hit it yet. See you, Red. Be good.
I saw what you did, Swaggy.
We all city like the mayor.